Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Ram Ram, Ram Hare Hare, Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Ram Ram, Ram Hare Hare, Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Ram Ram, Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda, Shri Advaita Gadadhar Sivasadi Gaura Bhanga Ki Jai, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Shri Radhe, Shri Radhe, Shri Radhe, Hare 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 Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna, Vancha Kalpatra, Kripa Sindhuva Eva Cha, Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Anant Koti Vaishnav Vrindi Ki Jai, Shla Prabhupada Ki Jai, Gaur Bhakta Vrindi Ki Jai. Hare Krishna, dear devotees, thank you all so much for your wonderful association, for your wonderful chanting. Thank you for your association. So let's move on to our next part, that is Chaitanya Bhagavat session. May I know who all joined today on the call?
Hare Krishna Mataji, please accept my humble obeisance. All praise to Srila Prabhupada, all praise to Sri Guru and Gauranga, all praise to all assembled devotees. This Shashida joining from Texas. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranams, all glories to Srila Prabhupada, all glories to Guru Maharaj. Thank you so much for joining, Prabhu. Thank you for your association.
Hare Krishna, Sundari Mataji, please accept my obeisances. Yes, Preeti Mataji, please go ahead. Okay. Hare Krishna, Kirtidas Sundari Mataji, Dandavat Pranam, Srila Prabhupada ki Jai, Guru Maharaj ki Jai, Preetidas from Charlotte. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Preeti Mataji, Dandavat Pranams, all glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much. Thank you for your association every day, Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandavat Pranam, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada and Sri Guru and Gauranga and all the assembled devotees. Yashomati from Chicago.
Krishna Yashomati, Dandavat Pranams, all glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much for joining. Thank you for your association, Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Kirtidas Sundari Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada and all the assembled devotees. This is Indulekha Kalmadevi Basi.
Hare Krishna, Indulekha Mataji, Dandavat Pranams, all glories to Srila Prabhupada and Guru Maharaj. Thank you so much for joining. Thank you for your association, Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Kirtidas Sundari Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada, all glories to the assembled devotees. This is Anita Ramya from Sharjah. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Anita Mataji, Dandavat Pranams, all glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much for joining, Mataji. Thank you so much for your association. Anybody else wants to introduce?
Hare Krishna Mataji, my name is Pratibha. Thank you for having me in the group, Mataji. All glories to Radha Gopinath and my humble obeisances to you. Thank you so much.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandavat Pranams, all glories to Srila Prabhupada, all glories to Radha Gopinath. Thank you so much for joining, Mataji. Are you joining it for the first time?
Actually, yes, Mataji. In the group, I'm joining for the first time. So sorry, I haven't gone in the order.
Oh, no worries, Mataji. No worries at all. Thank you so much for your association and hope to seek your association more often on these calls. So everybody, let's just welcome Pratibha Mataji with a loud Hari Bol. Hari Bol.
Hari Bol. Hari Bol.
Hari Bol, Mataji. Welcome.
Thank you,
Mataji. Thank you so much for your association. Okay, anyone else?
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandavat Pranam, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. This is Seema Sinha from Doha, Qatar, Mataji.
Hari Bol. Dandavat pranams, Mataji. Dandavat pranams. Our glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much for joining. Thank you for your association, Seema Mataji. Krishna. Sacipran Prabhu has not joined yet. Anybody else wants to introduce in the meantime?
Hare Krishna, Kirtida Sundari Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. Jai Shri Prabhupada, this is Preeti Vilasini Devidasi from Atlanta. Thank you, Mataji, for your warm introduction. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Preeti Vilasini Mataji. Dandavat pranams. Our glories to Srila Prabhupada and Guru Maharajas. Thank you so much for joining. Thank you for your association. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Mataji, Dandavat Pranam, Srila Prabhupada, Srila Gurudev Ki Jai. Vrinda, Dandavat Pranam to all Vaishnava.
Hare Krishna, Vrinda Gopika Mataji. Dandavat pranams. Our glories to Srila Prabhupada and Guru Maharajas. Thank you so much for joining and thank you so much for your association every day, Mataji. Hare Krishna. Okay, it's 11:01. Can anybody start recording? Okay, Sacipran Prabhu is also. Thank you all so much for joining. Before I hand over the call to Sacipran Prabhu, let me read Srila Prabhupada's purport. Oh, sorry, Prabhupada's quote for today. So Prabhupada's quote for today is December 25th. Simply propagate this chanting, dancing, feasting, and following the regulative principles. These are the 4 pillars of our success. Letter to Krishna Das, December 25th, 1969. Thank you so much for joining, Prabhu. Hare Krishna. Please accept my humble obeisances. Our glories to Srila Prabhupada. We are really very, very fortunate to have you on the call today. And today's call will be given by His Grace Sacipran Gaurahari Prabhu, and he will be enlightening us on the topic of Sri Caitanya Bhagavata from Adi Khanda, chapter number 15, verse 37 to 39. So thank you, Prabhuji. Thank you once again for your wonderful association. And now you can please take over. Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much, Mataji, for the kind introduction. Is my audio okay, Mataji?
Yes, Prabhu.
Okay, thank you, Mataji. I have a new laptop, so I just wanted to check. Thank you so much. Dear devotees, thank you so much for joining today to hear some Harikatha. I feel very fortunate and blessed for being given this opportunity to speak today. Thank you, Preeti Vilasini Mataji, for giving me this opportunity, and all of the devotees present on this call. Thank you for joining and giving me this opportunity to speak, and thank you for your association. We'll start with Mangalacharan prayers. Om Agnanatimirandasya Gnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Swak Padantikam Vandeham Shri Guroho Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavam Swan Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sagana Lagunatanvitam Tam Sajivam Satvaitam Savadutam Parijana Saitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sagana Lalita Shri Vishakan Vitamscha Namo Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Preshtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swaminiti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha He Krishna Karuna Sindho Dina Bandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Shri Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanusute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Nama Eva Kevalam Kalau nasteva 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 katiranyata. Mukam karoti vachalam pangum langayate girim yat krupatamham vande Shri Gurum Deenatarinam Paramananda Madhavam Shri Krishna Chaitanya Ishwaram. Jaya Jaya Shri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Jaya Jaya Shri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Jaya Jaya Shri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna. Dear devotees, please, before I speak, I request all of you to bless me so that I can speak some Harikatha that will nourish all of us. Hare Krishna. So today we're reading from Sri Chaitanya Bhagavat, chapter 15, verse 37. We will read 37, 38 and 39 today. Verse 37. Ata eva prabhu stane varshe ka padiya pandita hayena sabhe siddhanta janiya. Therefore, whoever studied under the Lord for 1 year would become a learned scholar who understood the conclusions of the scriptures. Very nice. So, by the students who are studying under Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, they themselves became scholars. And then not only just scholars, it refers to, it can also refer to just knowledge, just knowledge. But they also understood the conclusions, which is most important. One may be a scholar, but if they don't understand the conclusions, then it's of no use. The knowledge is of no use. But here it is clearly stated that Pandita Hayena, they became Pandita, Sabe Siddhanta Janiya. They understood the Siddhanta, they understood the conclusions of the scriptures. So we'll read the purport. Mahaprabhu Gaurasundara alone is the crest jewel of instructors on the Sat Siddhanta, or ultimate conclusions. He has sanctioned all proper conclusions regarding the basis of devotional service to the Lord. So Mahaprabhu is the crest jewel of instructors. And all of us coming in the line of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, we are also, if we follow the instructions that are being given to us, if we study the scriptures, if we understand the Siddhanta, and if we practice, if we implement, then, we can also reap the same benefits of all of these students who have achieved by learning directly from Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And Mahaprabhu gave the conclusions, the basis of devotional service to the Lord. So this is what we will also get. If we follow, if we practice correctly, properly, we will also be able to understand the conclusions of the devotional service. Moreover, he has made these topmost conclusions easily accessible to everyone, including the sinful. And especially, see, this we are talking about 500 years ago that Mahaprabhu did. But now, for all of us, Srila Prabhupada has made this happen. Our Acharyas, and especially for us, directly it is Srila Prabhupada and our Guru Varga. They have made all of these teachings, all of the instructions, all of the scriptures easily accessible to us. Even the sinful, like I'm the most sinful person, or at least I don't really feel that I'm the most sinful, but I know I'm sinful. So even for a sinful person like me, I'm able to read, I'm able to wear tilak, I'm able to wear kanti. This is a great blessing. Corresponding with this threefold introduction to proper conclusions, Sri Sanatana Goswami has become Bhakti Siddhanta Acharya, the Acharya on the conclusions of devotional service. Sri Rupa Goswami has become the Abhideya Acharya, the Acharya for the process of achieving the goal of life. And Srila Jiva Goswami's nourishment of those conclusions have become worshipable by all Gaudiya Vaishnavas. So here in this purport, the Sambandha and Abhideya are mentioned specifically at this point. And then continuing, the confidential process of bhajana based on all proper conclusions that was followed by Sri Das Goswami, the staunch follower of Sri Rupa, is the devotee's original creeper of Vrindavan devotion. This is Prayojan. So Sambandha, Abhidaya, Prayojan, all three have been covered in the purport. Those who had the opportunity to hear proper conclusions from the Lord for even 1 year could never be distracted from the service of Adokshaja by material knowledge. So in this purport, there's so many important points. Every point is very important, and every point has various branches to itself. And this purport itself, can be discussed several weeks or in several classes. Sambandha Abhideya Prayojan has been discussed. Srila Jiva Goswami's contribution has been discussed. Mahaprabhu's teachings coming through these acharyas have been glorified. And finally, it is said that whoever has the opportunity to hear proper conclusions for even 1 year can never be distracted by Maya. Here it is said material knowledge, but material knowledge, Maya, they all fall in the same category. So any person who has heard the proper conclusions from the Lord or from his devotees, it's the same thing, because a devotee only speaks what the Lord has spoken. Srila Prabhupada says, and even most of our Guru Varga also say that, even if you're not able to speak, for example, I'm not good at speaking, I'm not good at public speaking or giving classes or lectures. So the instruction that is given to somebody like me is, you don't have to memorize, you don't have to make up stuff, just speak whatever Prabhupada has given us. We don't have to become very technical, we don't have to give deep philosophy, just the basics, just present the basics, that's all. And if one takes that basics, and here it is clearly highlighted 1 year, just for 1 year. If one hears, not even following, just hears proper conclusions from the Lord for even 1 year, they will never be distracted by Maya. So this is a lesson for all of us. We can analyze how strong we are, how connected we are, how attached we are to the path of bhakti, and how distracted we are by Maya. This is a clear gauge for us. So generally, whenever I study or whenever I read or hear, these are the things that I try to catch, so that, I can analyze myself, I can gauge my progress. And this also helps because sometimes some other sadhakas or devotees, they ask, that how do we gauge ourselves? And this we hear a lot. How do I gauge myself? How do I know I'm progressing? And sometimes we hear that I've been practicing for so long, but I don't feel I've progressed. So now these are all the gauges that we can verify. Have you been hearing 1 year? Have you been chanting like this properly? Have you been at least trying to avoid offenses? All of these, what type of food are you eating? What is your achar? What is your vichar? Like that. If we understand all of those, then we can easily analyze our state. We'll read verse 38. Hena mate vidyarase achena ishvara vivahera karya shachi chinte nirantara. As the Lord thus enjoyed scholastic pastimes, Mother Shachi continually meditated on getting her son remarried. So this is Mother Shachi's Vatsalya that's being highlighted here. Text 39. Sarvanava dvipe Shachi niravadi mane putrera sadrusha kanya chahe anukshane. Mother Shachi constantly searched throughout Navadvip for a suitable bride for her son. So verse 38 and 39 are talking about Mother Shachi's Vatsalya Prema, wanting to get Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu remarried. So I will not touch on that specific topic, verse 38 and 39, because I think it will be addressed in the later verses more elaborately. So I will not touch on those, but I'll speak mainly on the first verse, which is verse 37. And primarily, I will try to highlight some points around the knowledge aspect. So we'll start our discussion. So in the scriptures, it is explained, especially Sri Parashara Muni, he gives the definition of Bhagavan. Parashara Muni, he says that the word, in Sanskrit, the word Bhagavan, Bhaga means opulence, and Van means one who possesses. Like in this world, we use the word Balavan. Balavan means one who possesses the strength. Dhanavan. Dhanvan means one who has a lot of opulence, or some opulence, considerable amount of opulence is Dhanavan. So why is God called Bhagavan? So that is explained by Parashara Muni. In Vishnu Purana, Parashara Muni, he says, Aishwaryasya samagrasya viryasya yashashashriya gnana vairagyayos-chaiva sannam bhagam itingana. So Sri Parashara Muni, he says that Aishwaryasya samagrasya, and this opulence, it should be possessed in full. So somebody may have, let's say we have Jeff Bezos or Elon Musk or Bill Gates. They are very rich. But can any of them claim that they have all the riches in the world? No, they cannot. They are rich, but they don't have all the riches of the world. So Parashara Muni, while defining Bhagavan, God, he says that God is one who has 6 opulences in full. And these 6 opulences, if we analyze, actually cover everything that we can think of. Any opulence, anything that can attract us is present in all of these 6 opulences. So what are these 6 opulences? The first one is Aishwarya. Aishwarya means all riches. Aishwarya means riches, but Aishwaryasya samagrasya, which means all riches. And then strength. The first one is riches. The second one is strength. Then comes fame, yasha, and then beauty, shriya, and then gnana, which is wisdom, knowledge, and then vairagya, which is renunciation. So anyone who possesses all of these in full, all of these 6 opulences in full, is considered to be Bhagavan, is Bhagavan. Generally, if we see in this material world, if anyone possesses some of these opulences to some great extent, say Elon Musk or Jeff Bezos, they are very rich. So they naturally become attractive. A lot of people, if you see in LinkedIn or any of their online media accounts, they have a lot of followers. Same way, even with sports stars, cinema stars, people are just crazy. People are attracted to these personalities. Everyone admires them. It may be because of their richness, or it may be because of their fame. It may be because of their beauty, their extraordinary intelligence, or it can be because of their sports skills, whatever it is. Based on their ability, based on their opulence that they have, people are attracted to them. And what is attracting them? It is the opulence. Because let's say if Jeff Bezos becomes poor, let's say if Amazon stock becomes $0, and if he becomes poor, do you think anyone will be attracted to Jeff Bezos? No, they won't be. The opulence is what is making them attractive. And we know Jeff Bezos will eventually die. He's not going to live forever. So his opulence and his existence is short-lived. But on the other hand, God is one who lives forever. The definition of Bhagavan, as given by Sri Parashara Muni, Since God possesses all of these opulences in full, that is why he's called God. If not, he's not Bhagavan. We cannot say that I'm rich, so I'm Bhagavan. I'm very intelligent, knowledge. I have complete knowledge of everything. I'm Bhagavan. No, that's not possible. One should possess all of these 6 opulences in full, then only such a person is called God. And we just saw that, the opulences makes one attractive. And God, he's possessing all the opulences. So that means automatically he must be most attractive. And in Sanskrit, we all know the word for all attractive is Krishna. That is why one of the Mukhya Naam, prime names, main names of the Supreme Lord is Krishna. He has many names. Krishna has so many names, but one of the prime names is Krishna. So we'll quickly go through a few points to highlight these 6 opulences of Krishna. Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, Aham sarvasya prabhava mattas sarvam pravartate. Krishna says, I am the source of everything. Aham sarvasya prabhava mattas sarvam pravartate. Everything emanates from me. What does it mean? It means that Krishna is the origin of everything. Everything belongs to Krishna. Everything that we see that is existing, or anything that we see, and anything that we don't see also, everything belongs to Krishna. That means all the riches belong to Krishna. No one can equal to the richness of Krishna at any point of time. Why? Because everything belongs to Krishna. Even if let's say, I claim ownership of this entire material world, like Brahma is the Lord at the material level, he's the topmost personality. So can anyone be richer than Brahma? No. Nobody can be richer than Brahma. Even Jeff Bezos or all of these rich people put together, they cannot exceed Brahma's opulence. So, but Brahma is just one living entity that kind of owns this material world. And the Supreme Lord owns millions of Brahmas. So we can understand the richness of Krishna. Nobody can equal to Krishna. Nobody can equal to Krishna in terms of riches. Now, regarding the strength, Virya, we see Krishna when he appeared in this in Vrindavan as a small little child. We saw Krishna lifted Govardhan with his little finger, left hand little finger, pinky finger, when he was a small boy. And he also killed so many demons like Putana, Trunavata, Shakatasur, and so many other demons when he was a small child. And no one in history in the past or in the present or in the future can repeat any of these tasks. It's very difficult. And also Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita that balam balavatam chaham. Krishna says that if somebody is strong, if somebody is powerful, then Krishna says his strength is coming from me. He is not independently strong. His strength is coming from me. In Srimad Bhagavatam, we see Kapila Muni, while instructing Mother Devahuti, he says that fire is burning because of me. Wind is blowing because of me. Death is taking its toll because of me, out of fear of me. So everything is happening. The strength or the reason behind everything is Krishna. Sarvakarana Karanam. Krishna is the cause of everything. So that is the strength aspect of Bhagavan. And then fame, it's easy to understand. Fame, Krishna's fame is spread all over the world, especially with Srila Prabhupada writing all the books, giving all these scriptures easily accessible in so many languages. Krishna has become known to every part, every corner of this planet. Any country, any city that you go to, there is some ISKCON temple or ISKCON center there, and practicing Krishna consciousness has become very easy. So Krishna, the Supreme Lord Krishna, is very popular. He is known in every city. And it's not that, Krishna was around just few years back. No, Krishna left this planet 5,000 years ago, more than 5,000 years ago. But still, people talk about Krishna. And he will be talked about forever. It's not that, we will talk now and in the future it will stop. No, it's not like that. Everyone will talk about Krishna forever. The talk of Krishna will last forever. So his fame does not last only for certain period of time. His fame lasts forever. On the other hand, if we take any personality of this material world, any famous personality, their fame, people will definitely talk about them when they're alive, and maybe they may be talked about for 1 or 2 generations, but after that their fame goes away. We know there are so many presidents of United States that were glorified when they were ruling, and also they were glorified maybe a little bit after their power, but after they left this life, left their body, they are not discussed much. They're forgotten. But that is not the case with Krishna. So this is the fame aspect of Krishna. And regarding knowledge or wisdom, this is the main thing that I really wanted to talk about, the knowledge aspect of Krishna. So regarding knowledge or wisdom, we know Krishna spoke Bhagavad Gita. And this was spoken, definitely it was spoken 5,000 years ago, but we know Krishna spoke this many times in the past and millions of years ago. And Krishna, whenever he feels that this knowledge is lost, that's when Krishna speaks again. So the Bhagavad Gita consists of the wisdom, knowledge, instructions spoken by Krishna. And we know this is a book distribution pitch as well, that this book has been used as a textbook in various universities, various colleges, not only in India, but also in US, Australia, South Africa, UK, various universities across the globe use this book Bhagavad Gita as a textbook. Today, even today, it's not 5,000 years ago. Even today, this book is used as a textbook. So we can understand the wisdom that Krishna gave millions of years ago, or even 5,000 years ago, is still continuing. And it's also appreciated by Mahatma Gandhi, Albert Einstein, various great personalities. So that's the importance of the knowledge that Krishna gave. Another thing that I wanted to say was that, so generally any knowledge that we learn in this material world, there's an expiry date to it. We may feel something is the best subject now, but after a few years, it becomes stale. It becomes old. It becomes old-fashioned. But Krishna's knowledge, Bhagavad Gita, is not like that. And especially if we take IT, I'm in IT, so I can easily speak about IT. In IT, things change. At least few years back, it used to be like, you have to upgrade yourself every year, every couple of years. But now IT is becoming so dynamic that every few weeks things are changing. Things that I learned, let's say 4 weeks back, there's an upgrade. I have to upgrade myself again. Like that, the material knowledge, it keeps changing. But on the other hand, the knowledge that Krishna gave, the knowledge present in the scriptures, they don't change. Whatever our grandfathers or our great-grandfathers have studied, it's the same Bhagavad Gita that we are also studying. There's no difference. The same Srimad Bhagavatam we are studying. It's the same thing, no difference. So that is the greatness of the knowledge that Krishna has given. It is everlasting. It consists of everything that living entity needs to know. And another thing is, Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita that Vedascha sarver ahameva vedyo vedantakrut veda videva chaham. Krishna says that I know all knowledge. And the purpose of all knowledge is to understand me, is to know me. So that's what Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is also saying. In the purport we saw that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was giving these conclusions. And anybody who follows these conclusions properly will not get distracted. That is, we will know Krishna, the followers of the Vedas, the followers of the conclusions of the Vedas, not just any part of the Vedas, but the conclusions of the Vedas. The followers of the conclusions of the Vedas will know Krishna. They will know how to do bhajan. They will know how to do bhakti. They will know how to please Krishna. So this is essence. So Krishna is saying, Vedanta Vedascha Sarver Ahameva Vedyo. I am to be known. So that is one important point. And then Krishna also says, Vedaham samatitani vartamanani cha Arjuna bhavishyani cha bhutani mam tu vedana kaschana. Here Krishna says, Vedaham samatitani. Krishna knows everything. Vartamanani cha Arjuna bhavishyani cha bhutani. He knows past, present, future. He knows all living entities. So to learn from Krishna, or to learn from somebody coming in the line of Krishna, is the correct process. If we try to learn from anyone else who is not in this path, then we will be distracted, we'll deviate. That's why it is said that in the purport it was said that if anyone follows, if anyone hears these conclusions, they will not be distracted by Maya. Maya or material knowledge, their goal is to pull us away from the path of bhakti. They will present so many philosophies, so many theories, and the goal of Maya is to test us, to deviate us from the path of bhakti. And the primary thing is to test us really, to see how strong we are. And actually Maya is helping us in a way. If we look at it, Maya is helping us. Maya is just throwing tests, obstacles for us to cross so that we can reach Krishna. If not, we will take it easy and we will not really be serious in our bhajan. So in a way, Maya is helping us. So by taking the knowledge coming from Krishna, we will be able to progress properly in the path of bhakti. And then the other two items are, one is beauty, Krishna's beauty. We know how beautiful Krishna is. In Brahma Samhita, Sri Brahma, he says, Khandarpa Koti Kamaniya Vishesha Shobham. This one line is enough to explain the beauty of Krishna. Cupid attracts everyone. We know, at least in English circles, it is said Cupid attracts everyone. But Khandarpa Koti, crores of Khandarpas, Cupids, Kamaniya, they are attracted. They are bewildered by the Shobha, the beauty of Krishna. Crores of Cupids cannot be equal to the beauty of Krishna. And another unique feature of Krishna's beauty is that he's always young. He never grows old. In Brahma Samhita itself, it is said, Advaitam Achyutam Anadim Anantarupam Adyam Purana Purusham Navayavanam Cha. Purana Purusham. Krishna is Purana Purush because he is the source of everything. All living entities eventually, if we see, they are emanating from Krishna. So he is the Purana Purush, original Purush. Yet, so if we say somebody is the oldest, naturally we feel that, he should be old, he should have wrinkled skin, gray hair, broken teeth, or, bent back, not able to walk properly. These are the things that we feel, when we talk about old persons. But Krishna, though he is Purana Purush, yet he is Navayavanam. He is full of youth. He's like a 16-year-old boy. Srila Prabhupada writes that Krishna is a person possessing the beauty of blooming youth. Very youthful. And that's why we see even in the battlefield of Kurukshetra, when Krishna was driving the chariot of Arjuna, Krishna was around 90 years of age. Yet he looked like a young boy, 20-year-old. He was very young. He looked like a young boy. He did not look like an old man. That is why he said Nava Yavana. Krishna is always youthful and he never grows old. And finally, the sixth aspect of Bhagavan is Vairagya, renunciation. This can be understood in various ways. One example that Srila Prabhupada mentions in his lectures is that Krishna created this world and he's not attached to it. How do we understand this? Krishna's expansion, Mahavishnu's body pores, from the body pores of Mahavishnu, these universes emanate. Right? These universes are coming out from the body pores of Mahavishnu. And when he exhales, these universes are coming out, and when he inhales, the universes are going in. And if we see each of these universes, they are constructed very nicely, very perfectly. Yet, when these perfectly constructed universes merge enter the body of Mahavishnu and are destroyed, at that time, there is no sorrow expressed. Mahavishnu or Lord Krishna, they don't express any sorrow. They don't lament. On the other hand, let's take our example. Let's say we buy a new phone or we build a new home, and we're so attached. If something happens to the phone, or if something happens to the home, or whatever our possessions are, whatever our dear possessions are, if something happens to it, we feel sad. So that is the difference between a Jiva and Bhagavan. Bhagavan is not attached to anything, but he is attached to one thing, that is his devotees. He is attached to the love of his devotees. But generally speaking, he is detached. So, and other thing that we can talk about Vairagya is that those people who take to the path of bhakti, they also develop Vairagya. Forget about Krishna being detached, but also those people, they may be sinful to begin with, but as they take to the process of bhakti, they also become detached. They also develop all these qualities. The famous verse that comes in Srimad Bhagavatam, it says, Vasudeve Bhagavati Bhakti Yoga Prayojitaha Janayati Asu Vairagyam Gnanam Chatad Ahetukam. It is said that Gnanam and Vairagyam, Vasudeve Bhagavati Bhakti Yoga Prayojita. Bhakti Yoga. When somebody performs Bhakti Yoga, and it is clearly mentioned Vasudev, it is not for anyone else. People may say, I will worship Shiva, or I will worship Brahma, or I'll worship Durga, Ganesha, Hanuman, whoever it is, they may say, Sai Baba, whatever, whatever names, Hanuman, whatever names they may come up with. But our scriptures are very clear. Bhagavatam, Bhagavad Gita, these scriptures, very clear. It is clear said, Vasudeva Bhagavati, Bhakti Yoga Prayojita. When we perform Bhakti Yoga to Vasudeva, Lord Krishna, then what happens? Janayati. Janayati means gives rise to, like gives birth or produces. Janayati, what does it produce? Vairagyam, Janayati Ashu Vairagyam and Gnanam. Ashu means very soon. It's not that it takes a long time. Vasudeva Bhagavati Bhakti Yoga Prayojita Janayati Asu Vairagyam Gnanam. When one practices Bhakti Yoga, very soon Gnanam and Vairagyam will naturally develop in the heart of such a devotee. But the key is here, Bhakti Yoga has to be performed. It is not a sadhaka. This does not apply to a sadhaka. This applies to a devotee. So we should not misinterpret this verse and think that, I've been performing bhakti for so long and I'm still not developing any detachment, or I still feel like I'm lacking knowledge, I'm confused. No, it is because we are still in the sadhaka stage. When we practice more, when we perform more devotional service sincerely, the 9 limbs of devotional service, Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu Smaranam, Ityadi, when we perform all of these very nicely over a period of time, consistently, with sincerity, seriousness, with surrender, then naturally these will develop in our heart. And that will happen very quickly. It does not take time. When we become serious, Krishna will also become serious. All of these will naturally develop in our heart. So coming back to our discussion from Chaitanya Bhagavat, in verse 37 of Chaitanya Bhagavat, chapter 15, that we just read, the knowledge aspect of the Supreme Lord is being highlighted and it is being glorified. And clearly it is said, what is this knowledge? This is conclusions of the scriptures. In Bhagavad Gita, especially chapter 9, which is entitled the most confidential knowledge, Krishna says, what is this knowledge? Krishna says that this knowledge will help you get out of this material world, will help you relieve from the miseries of this material world. And Krishna also says, why he is revealing this to Arjuna? Why not to Duryodhana? Why not to Dhritarashtra? Why is he revealing this only to Arjuna? Because Arjuna, Krishna says clearly that because you are non-envious. Oh, Arjuna, you are non-envious. That is why I'm revealing this to you. So this is one important point for us also to know, that if we have envy in our heart, to that matter actually any anartha in our heart, we know the 6 anarthas: lust, anger, greed, pride, envy, illusion, and the other aparadhas that we commit. If we have any of these in our heart, then we may be hearing scriptures, we may be chanting, we may be performing the 9 limbs of devotional service, we may be doing all the activities. But if we have these anarthas and aparadhas in our heart, if we commit these aparadhas, then we will not be able to internalize. We will not be able to get the conclusions. We will not be able to understand. We may even understand also. We may even understand, but we will not be able to internalize. We will not be able to become devotees. So that is why it is important, as we perform our activities, it should not just be a kriya. It should not just be a mechanical activity. It should be performed with some love and devotion, some affection. Until we develop some love and devotion, affection in our heart towards Radha Krishna, it is very difficult to make progress. I was hearing one lecture in which the speaker was saying that if we have the point at which we will be able to really say we are performing devotional service is when we don't have any attraction to this material world, any material desires, any sense gratificatory desires, any attachments to this material world. Until then, whatever we are doing, it cannot be considered as bhakti. So we have to practice this very seriously and very sincerely to and pray to Krishna, pray to Prabhupada, pray to our Guru Maharaj, our Guru Varga, Acharyas. Then they will give us the strength, they will give us the mercy by which we will be able to overcome. And at the same time, we should put our endeavor also. It is not just pray and forget. No, we have to pray and endeavor. Then we will be able to progress in the path of bhakti. So Krishna says, that we have to always think of Krishna. We have to worship Krishna. We have to pay obeisances to Krishna. That way, by being absorbed in Krishna, we will definitely be able to go back to Krishna. So all of these instructions that Krishna is giving to Arjuna, it is actually for us. And this is the essence of all knowledge. The conclusions that Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is distributing, it is the same knowledge that is given in Bhagavad Gita also. And this Krishna is calling most confidential knowledge. It is not just any knowledge. It is the most confidential knowledge. And that is why when we understand this most confidential knowledge, then the material knowledge will not distract us. See, when we understand that that we are not this body, we are Atma, we don't belong to this material world, we belong to the spiritual world. We are meant to serve Krishna in a loving, devotional, affectionate way. When we understand all of these principles, all of these knowledge, when we understand and we hanker for this, then any other knowledge or any other attraction that is put in front of us, we will be able to easily overcome. This is what the scriptures say. So as sadhakas, all of us must strive for this. We should analyze where our attractions are. We should analyze what is causing deviation. Say, for example, chanting. When I chant, my mind goes all over the place. I'm not able to focus. I'm not able to chant attentively. So I have to analyze where is my mind going, and then try to develop detachment in that area, or take care of it in such a way that it becomes Krishnaized. Okay, it becomes part of my bhakti, part of my sadhana. That way, it will not be material anymore, and it won't become a distraction in my path of bhakti. So all of us should try to incorporate these things in our day-to-day activities. I know all of you are already doing. I'm just repeating what you're already doing. As we do all of this more with love and affection, then we will be able to make progress. And Srila Prabhupada, for us, we have great fortune. Srila Prabhupada, as part of ISKCON's daily sadhana, has given us a full timetable, a nice daily schedule, with which we can incorporate everything that Krishna is asking us to do can be incorporated naturally. We don't have to endeavor, we don't have to strive to incorporate anything that Krishna is asking for. Krishna is saying, Manmana bhava madbhakto madhyajinam namaskuru. All of these things that Krishna is asking for, it becomes natural for us. Because Srila Prabhupada has given us a nice daily schedule. And if we follow what Srila Prabhupada and our acharyas have given us, then we will achieve what Krishna is expecting from us. It will become easy for us. And one more thing to note is that Krishna is not expecting perfection from us. Krishna is not expecting perfection. Krishna is only looking for our sincerity, our endeavor. Krishna is trying to see how interested we are in him. Krishna is interested to see how interested we are in him. He's looking at only our effort. He's not looking at our perfection. Some devotees may cook very opulently, very nicely, but some devotees may not know how to cook. They may cook just simple khichdi, simple rice, dal, sabji. Krishna is fine. Krishna is happy. We know our Goswamis were offering just chapati, plain chapati, but Krishna accepted, like that. Whatever we have, if we perform to the best of our ability, then Krishna will be pleased. We see Vidura's wife, Vidurani, she was just offering the peels, banana peels, and Krishna had them very happily. And, we never eat peel of banana. We only eat the banana, the fruit. But Krishna ate the peel. Why? Because Krishna was seeing the love and devotion of Vidurani. So like that, Krishna is only interested in our effort, our love, our affection. He's not seeing for perfection. And when Sri Krishna, when he came as Sri Caitanya Mahaprabhu, as a great devotee, to teach all conditioned souls, his prime aspect of teaching or instruction was how to render devotional service. And Mahaprabhu has given so many instructions, so many teachings to his close associates. Especially we see Shikshashtakam. Shikshashtakam is considered to be the main instructions of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. But if we read Chaitanya Bhagavat, Chaitanya Charitamrita, and other books on Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, we see Mahaprabhu has instructed so many devotees at so many times, like Sanatan Goswami, Rupa Goswami. And it is said in this purport also that Sanatan Goswami is the Bhakti Siddhanta Acharya who was taught the conclusions of devotional service. And Rupa Goswami was taught the process of achieving the goal of life. Like this Sanatan Goswami, Rupa Goswami, and then, even Sarvabhaum Bhattacharya, Haridas Thakur, all the Goswamis, various devotees were instructed by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And here, especially Jiva Goswami is also mentioned. We know how Jiva Goswami received the instructions. So Mahaprabhu instructed Sarvabhaum Bhattacharya, and Sarvabhaum Bhattacharya instructed his disciple, Madhusudan Vachaspati. And our Jiva Goswami, Srila Jiva Goswami, has learned from Madhusudan Vachaspati. So like that. At the end of the day, we see that all the instructions are coming from Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu only. So like this, Mahaprabhu has instructed so many devotees. But in this purport, mainly 4 devotees are highlighted: Sanatan Goswami, Rupa Goswami, and Jiva Goswami, and Raghunath Das Goswami. So in also this Sambandha, Abhideya, Prayojan aspect of our, the 3 stages of spiritual life have also been highlighted. So I just want to quickly speak about these 3 aspects. So we know in our spiritual life, there are 3 stages: Sambandha, Abhideya, Prayojan. Krishna Sambandha, Bhakti Abhideya, Prema Prayojan. So among these 3, we know that, Prayojan, which is Prema Bhakti, is the topmost. But actually, it is explained that, yes, Prema is important, but most important also is Sambandha. Because Sambandha is like the foundation. When you are constructing a house, you don't construct the house first. You construct the foundation. If the foundation is strong, then the house will be strong. So if the foundation is not strong, the house will not be strong. So I was hearing one lecture. I think this was somebody from Sri Radha Gopinath Mandir. They were saying that the main reason why most devotees, most sadhakas are not able to advance is because they lack the sambandha. They don't have a strong sambandha. So by studying the sambandha is like the foundation. So by studying the writings of Sambandha Acharya Srila Sanatan Goswami, we will be able to attain the Sambandha Gnana. Or what is Sambandha? Sambandha means relation. So our relation with Krishna, that knowledge we will be able to understand. What is our knowledge with, what is our relation with Krishna? Eternal relationship with Krishna. This can be understood by studying the writings of Sanatan Goswami. And we know Sanatan Goswami's Ishtadev is Madan Mohan. Srila Prabhupada writes that in the execution of Krishna consciousness, our first business is to know Krishna and our relationship with Krishna. If we don't know this, then whatever we may practice, whatever we may perform, we will not get the complete result. Yes, we will develop some, we will have some sukruti, which may help us, we don't know when, in the future, after many, many lifetimes, it may help us. But the important thing is for us to establish the sambandha. We should be clear of our sambandha. For us, our Ishtadev should be the only shelter. Whatever situation we are in, to know whether one sambandha is strong or not, this is a litmus test. If there is a situation, who are we thinking of? Who are we taking shelter of? Who are we appreciating? Not just in bad situations, even in good situations, what is our thought process? Are we appreciating our Ishtadev? Are we appreciating our worshipable deities, our Guru, our acharyas. This is how we can understand if our sambandha is strong or not. But let's say if we appreciate ourselves, or if we appreciate someone else, if it is a devotee, that is fine. But if it is not a devotee, then then we have to understand that we have not understood our sambandha. So this is important. So sambandha gnan comes from Srila Sanatana Goswami. And then Rupa Goswami is our Abhideya Acharya. He reveals how to execute devotional service. And Rupa Goswami's Ishtadev is Radha Govindji. And we know so many books Srila Rupa Goswami has written, especially Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, the Nectar of Instruction, Nectar of Devotion, which are important books for all of us to study. And Srila Prabhupada specifically states that if one hears or reads Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu carefully, he will have all the guidance that is needed to advance in the path of bhakti. We don't have to endeavor separately. Just this one book of Rupa Goswami, Nectar of Devotion, Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, is sufficient for us to make advancement in the path of bhakti. Bhagavad Gita has all the instructions, but individually we will not be able to understand them. We need some additional explanation, elaboration, how to perform bhakti. All of that is given by Srila Rupa Goswami. And then finally, our Prayojana Acharya, Sri Raghunath Das Goswami, his Ishtadev is Radha Gopinath. And by studying the writings of Raghunath Das Goswami, or by imbibing his mood, we will be able to perform Prema Bhakti. We will be able to understand what Prema Bhakti is, and we will be able to make advancement in the path of our Bhakti. So these three, Sambandha, Abhideya, Prayojan, are very important for us to understand. And if we see, these three are actually conclusions of the Vedas. These are not anything new or anything different. This is what Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has explained. It's no new concept. It's just that they're categorized in this way for us to easily understand. I know we're almost out of time. So I'll quickly talk about Srila Jiva Goswami. Few words on Jiva Goswami. Most of us know what I'm going to speak, but I just want to speak few words. We just celebrated his auspicious disappearance Tithi yesterday. So in his honor, I want to speak few words. Srila Jiva Goswami, he is considered, or he is one of the most important scholars of Vedanta philosophy. It is explained that he was very brilliant from childhood. We know his composition of Satsandarbha is one of the topmost literature among the Gaudiya Vaishnavas, and in general in the Vaishnava circles itself. We know Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has given 4 main instructions to the Goswamis. Mahaprabhu instructed the Goswamis to excavate or to uncover the lost pastime places of Sri Krishna. And then he also instructed them to install deities of the Lord and arrange for their worship. And then he also instructed them to write books on Krishna consciousness, and also to teach the rules of devotional life: Vaishnava Sadachar, Vaishnava etiquette, Bhakti, Vigraha Seva, Puja, all of these. So we see in the life of Jiva Goswami, he has actually done all of these. He wrote extensively. If I remember correctly, there are 19 books that Jiva Goswami has composed. And especially among these, the Satsandarbhas are the most famous. I've heard there are devotees or students who study and do PhD on just few verses of Jiva Goswami. They get PhD by studying just few verses, doing thesis on few verses. So we can understand the scholarship of Jiva Goswami. and he also established the temple worship, established deities, and did temple worship, established temple worship. And he also received, when we read Chaitanya Charitamrita or Chaitanya Leela, we understand how Jiva Goswami has actually received so many Vaishnavas. He served them, he took care of them, and he also preached a lot. There are three main students of Jiva Goswami: Narottam Das Thakur, Shyamananda Pandit, Srinivasa Acharya. We know these trio, the famous trio, these three devotees have helped actually spread the Gaudiya Vaishnava Siddhanta outside of Vrindavan. And these three were actually, they're not direct disciples of Jiva Goswami, but they're Shiksha disciples. We know Narottam Das Thakur was, from a Diksha standpoint, he's a disciple of Lokanath Goswami. Srinivasa Acharya is a disciple of Gopal Bhatta Goswami, and Shyamananda Pandit, I think, is Hridayananda Chaitanya's disciple. Though they had Diksha, different Diksha gurus, but still all of them took Shiksha from Jiva Goswami, and eventually they helped spreading the Gaudiya Vaishnava Siddhanta, philosophy of Gaudiya Vaishnavas outside of Vrindavan. And in this line, Srila Prabhupada took the baton forward and gave us all the scriptures in an easy to understand way in English. The content was in Bengali and Sanskrit, which not many understood, but Srila Prabhupada tirelessly took the laborious task of translating all of these scriptures in English and made it easier for us to read and understand the scriptures. See, one more point I wanted to highlight in the 37th verse purport. It is said that by hearing proper conclusions, this is important, that by hearing or reading proper conclusions about bhakti, and by doing that, naturally we should engage in bhakti. By engaging in the process of bhakti through the process of hearing, we will not be able to get distracted from the path of bhakti. So as sadhakas, we should all regularly incorporate this into our daily life, hearing from Srila Prabhupada, hearing from senior Vaishnavas, reading Srila Prabhupada's books regularly, following the kind of timetable that Srila Prabhupada has given us, the daily activities that Srila Prabhupada has given us. If we follow all of them sincerely, regularly, incorporate as much as possible into our daily life, then we will be protected. We don't have to externally strive for protection from Maya. So with that, dear devotees, I'll stop here. Thank you all for hearing patiently and for giving me this opportunity. Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda ki jai, Samaveta Gaura Bhakta Vrinda ki jai, ISKCON Guru Varga ki jai. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Oh, sorry, Mataji, please.
Go ahead, Nandu. I just want to say thank you, Prabhu. Thank you so much for such a nice class and turning these verses, and how you started off with the definition of Bhagavan and then establishing about Sambandha, Vidya and Prayojana Tattva. It's very nice, beautiful class, Prabhu. Thank you so much. I don't have any question, but the way you turned these three verses, practically just one, was really very nice. Thank you, Prabhu. Hare Krishna. Go ahead.
Hare Krishna. Hope you can hear me. Am I audible, Prabhuji? Or?
Yes, I can hear you now.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you so much, Prabhuji. I mean, this is definitely a very practical class for us to repeatedly listen to and try to understand where we are going wrong. I thought this was just amazing. Definitely is very helpful for me. And thank you so much, Prabhuji, for churning out so much nectar from these three verses. I'd request any participants, if you have any questions or any reflections, any realizations, please go ahead and unmute yourself. Prabhuji, do you have time today?
Yes, Mataji. Yeah, today is a holiday.
Holiday. Yes.
Holy day, actually.
Okay. Okay, dear devotees, I think everybody should be able to unmute. If you want to
Hare Krishna, at Sacipran Prabhu, Koti Koti Dandvat Pranam, Srila Prabhupada, Srila Gurudev ki jai, Gopinath ki jai. Very practical class, Prabhuji. You explained that sometimes we feel that we are not qualified to take a class, but we have to explain as it is from Sisi Bhagavatam or Sisi Chaitanya Charanamrut or whatever Srila Prabhupada is given instruction to us. First of all, our Brahma Murat Japa is very important. And Prabhuji, I have seen that you and Mataji Haridas Mother are doing so many seva, big plate prasadam seva in a Bhakti Vriksha class. Dandvat pranam to your sincere seva. Prabhuji, so day by day your class is given a nectar, all class Prabhuji, पर practical and वो अमृत बरसता है प्रभुजी. Very nectarian class. Srila Prabhupada, Srila Gurudev ki jai, Gopinath ki jai. And Jeev Goswami's pastime also you explained. Dandvat pranam to your sincere seva. Srila Prabhupada, Srila Gurudev, Gopinath ki jai. Thank you, Sachigor Pran Prabhuji, for your deep devotional association.
Thank you, Mataji. Please bless me so I can continue. Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much, Vanta Gopika Mataji. Yep, if we have no other questions, thank you so much for coming here. We end the call. Okay, we'll end the call. Next up. Hare Krishna, Pratibha.
Hare Krishna, Mataji. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Thank you so much for such a wonderful class. I was actually looking for something like this for, I can say, a couple of months, because I just wanted this revision to happen, and your class has really helped me a lot. And thank you so much, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Jai Ho.
Mataji, I think this is just for you, Mataji. It is an inspiration from Krishna. When I was looking at these verses, I really did not know what to speak. But somehow Krishna inspired me to speak these words. So yeah, thank you, Mataji. Thank you. I'm happy that it's helpful for you.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Thank you so much, Pratibha Mataji, and please keep signing.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Sacipran Prabhu. Thank you so much, Prabhu, for speaking today and giving such a beautiful class. Thank you for your association. It was very, very nice to hear from you, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji. Thank you for the opportunity. Hare Krishna.
Wonderful class, Prabhuji. Thank you so much once again for being here and giving us your association, and for this very, very nectarian, purifying session. We'll end the call here. Let us offer our obeisances to Prabhuji and all the assembled devotees. Vancha kalpata rubhyascha kripa sindhubhya
Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha.
Ananta Koti Vaishnava
Vrinda ki jai.
Prabhupada ki jai.
Jai.
Ye Chaitanya Bhagavat ki jai.
Jai.
Shri Sacipran
Prabhuji ki jai.
Prabhupada ki jai.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you very much. Krishna Prabhuji. Thank you.